Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2 days before New Year's and another summary of the Q posts. And what I wanted to do is give you kind of a rundown of what the most important nuggets from his posts are. There's a lot of really good information. A lot of it is stuff that doesn't make sense now but will make sense in the future. But I wanted to give you just the key notes from his posts. And first of all, I want to just remind you that these people never thought that Hillary was going to lose. That's why you have illegal activities by Loretta Lynch, by President Obama, by Bruce Orr, who was at the FBI, Sally Yates, who was head of the Department of Justice, and flat out refused when Trump came into office and he started telling her to comply with the law. She flat out refused because it was Trump. This guy, Peter Strzok, who had an affair with a woman who was a lawyer at the FBI, and the two of them colluded in order to have a quote-unquote insurance policy in case Trump won the election so that they could pull him down and get him out of office. This guy was head of the FBI, and looks like he's going to step down because he's been caught knowingly defying the law in order to take Trump out. And then James Comey, that we know was fired earlier by President Trump because of Hillary. Basically, she had classified emails on an unsecure server. He did an investigation, this was before the election, and said that she was careless but not negligent, and did nothing. And anyway, he used language so that she would not be arrested. And it's beyond Banana Republic. So I want to get into some of the things that he has said that Q, who is Q? Q is this man who is supposedly within steps of the president. He is either an advisor, who knows, he could be Secret Service. He's somebody who is very aware of what the president is doing at all times. And I want to show you something, let's make sure that I can get this. Here's this tax cut post. This is what Q posted. He said that Trump will be signing the biggest tax cut and reform bill in 30 minutes in the Oval Office. We'll also be signing a much-needed $4 billion missile defense bill. No one knew about this billion-dollar defense bill, this missile defense bill. We knew he was going to be signing eventually the tax cut bill. Some thought it would happen after the new year. But Q drops this, and then the president does exactly what Q says. So that's how I know that he knows what he's talking about. Okay, so let's keep moving through this information. The most important thing that I think Q has said, and this kind of gives you sort of a border for your jigsaw puzzle. They never thought this lady right here was going to lose. In other words, everything that's been done for decades is planned and mapped out by the powers that be. That's not us, it's not the voters. And eventually it became her turn, and she was going to be president. And because they control everything, they never thought she was going to lose. And so now that she lost, their little house of cards is coming apart. It's not a game, though. It's literally a battle of good versus evil. Donald Trump knows how sick and evil these people are. And the good guys, I'm going to call them the good guys, have known about Hillary, Obama, and the others. They know what they've done. They have not ever been able to do anything about it until now. Now, who are these people? You could call them the deep state. You could call them globalists, but they're also Luciferians and Satanists, meaning they worship Satan, but they call him Lucifer because they believe that God is the bad guy, Jehovah, God, our Father. They believe he was the bad guy, and Lucifer was a good guy all along. So therefore, that is their religion. They are Luciferians and Satanists. And I know this sounds crazy, but just stick with me. They own the media. I'm going to show you this picture, and this is just beyond bizarre. Okay, you see this little boy in the picture. This right here is Anderson Cooper. This is his little brother who's deceased. This is Gloria Vanderbilt. I used to own Gloria Vanderbilt jeans back in the day. And she's from the Vanderbilt dynasty. Now, I want you to see this picture that's in the background. See if I can make it bigger. This is, is this kind of creepy? Well, yes, this is, look at this headless guy right here. I want to show you some artwork that has the same kind of person in it. This is a sacrifice. There's a person under here. There's people, evil angels worshiping on either side. And here's Lucifer, or a priest or something. I mean, obviously, this is disgusting satanic artwork. And the Anderson Cooper, when he was in college, he worked for the CIA. He was an intern. All right, so let's keep moving through this stuff. Get this out of the way. So the deities that these people worship, there are two main ones. There may be others, but this is what I know of. They worship Moloch, who is a god from, an evil god from the Bible. And somehow I don't have that. Anyway, they worship Moloch, and they also worship Baphomet. Let me show you this picture of Baphomet. All right, this is where I want to start, way up here. Okay, this is the Rothschilds in 1972. They are the banking family, and they run the bankers. I'm going to give you the whole chain. Basically, you've got bankers, you've got organizations, you've got governments, and you've got the people. And one runs the other, which runs the other, which runs the other. So let's start with these guys. This is the bank. These people run the banks, the Rothschilds. She's dressed up like Baphomet, which is a god talked about in Freemasonry. It's a nice picture. These are apparently diamond teardrop earring or whatever. They're supposed to be tears running from Baphomet's face. This is just some of the sick stuff. And anytime you see a Y in Hollywood or the government, any government, if you see this Y image, it is Baphomet. These pictures leaked. Apparently they weren't supposed to, but you can just see these people. Are they just doing this to be silly, or are they doing this? That's Salvador Dali, the artist. Are they doing this because this is how they worship their God? Look at this table. This table is set with a dismembered doll, cracked skulls, and it is, if you look at some music videos, you're going to see the same type of thing. Okay, just get in. Yuck. I mean, do you see the sickness here? Okay. Let's make you go away because you're disgusting. All right. So I want to go back here. Okay. So these people are also called the deep state, and they run everything. The CIA, the FBI, and the DOJ are owned by these pedophiles and these globalists. But not all people in the government, in the CIA, in the Department of Justice, in the FBI are part of the cabal, this society of Satanists. One of the Q posts said that Hillary tried to cut a deal because they got her on something, and they said no, so they wouldn't cut a deal with her. Now, I told you that there is a system, and one runs the other. All right, so you've got George Soros, who is a billionaire globalist, and he controls organizations. The Saudis used to, with Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, used to run our elected officials like Hillary. She took a ton of money from him. Barack Obama went to school on his money. So the Saudis, but that whole Saudi government Prince royal system was taken down. So not sure what that's why what Q said is that Hillary Clinton is a puppet. Her strings have been cut and she's fighting for her life. So we're not real sure what happened with her. All right, so you've got Soros controlling organizations. You've got the Saudis controlling elected officials. You have the governments controlling us, the people. The banks are controlling the government, and families like the Rothschilds that I just showed you are controlling the banks. All right, now, we looked at that artwork on the table. We looked at the cracked skulls and the dismembered child, quote unquote, which was a doll. The reason they have these things is because these are pedophiles. And it goes beyond pedophilia. It's beyond rape, and it goes to murder, and it goes to eating of children. It's disgusting. Harvesting organs such as a child's, I won't even say what it is, but they smoke it, and then taking the blood of children that are terrified, have been terrified, taking that blood and drinking it. And it's got something in it called adrenochrome. That is coming out. There's a movie coming out in 2018 called Adrenochrome about the harvesting and the drinking of blood of people that are terrified. And these Satanists believe that that blood gives them power and there's some sort of life force in the blood, and that's why they drink it. Okay, so let's move on. John Podesta, I got to show you his brother's art. John Podesta was Hillary Clinton's chief of staff and Bill Clinton's chief of staff. This is his brother Tony. Tony and his wife are Washington insiders. He ran a lobbying group, which he just got out of. He just left it. This is artwork hanging in his home. This mimics some of the bodies that were found at the home of Jeffrey Dahmer, who was a mass murderer of children. This is some of the artwork. Isn't this lovely? This is in his home. What does that look like to you? By the way, red shoes means drinking the children's blood. This is another image in his home. Nice guy, great artwork. This is his brother, Brian, who makes these life-sized rabbits. Do you remember that rabbit that I showed you, that head in the Anderson Cooper picture above the bed? This mimics that. And what are they doing to this bunny? It's just sick. Here's this photograph of Jeffrey Dahmer, of the victim's body, and tell me that's not the same thing, okay? So, but just to let you know, this guy, Tony Podesta, and his brother John are all involved in this. Okay, I have to be really careful I don't go over. I think I'm just about out of time. We'll pick this up again in the next video, and we'll continue with the most important Q posts from the boards on 8chan. Thanks for watching, and we'll pray in the next video.